go to my channel and you should see my live video. I guess if you click on videos, however you got to do it. Yeah, bet. Yeah. Go to my channel, click right on videos. You'll see me. You should have your notifications turned on anyway. So, you know what I mean? So you can be up on the latest and greatest whenever Wavy drop a video. So go ahead and do that. That's where we at with it right now. All right. I'm about to dead this. I see y'all on YouTube. YouTube. What's popping, people? Got 6 people tuning in. Okay. Everybody hear me okay? How we sounding? Yo, what up, Wavy? Kenny? What up? New Hope. Not now, man. Yo. What they do? What's happening? What up, though? Is it me? Oh, man. We gonna do some Q&A first, man. I gotta warm y'all up first, man. I gotta heat this thing up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody tuned in. That's what's up. We in here. Gang. Let me go turn my AC up a little bit. It got kind of warm in here for all of a sudden. And I'm gonna plug the computer up. Let me see where we at. Oh, we are 79%. Oh, we should be good. What's popping, yo? Flat tire. You back on the flat tire, man? Look. If y'all just came from my Instagram live, all right, I was just talking to Kenny about how to change it, why you wouldn't want to be the guy on the side of a road changing a flat tire, man. So I'm doing a Q&A. Any other questions y'all got? But at the end of the day, man, it's your life. You know, don't let your pride get the best of you, thinking you got to prove to your woman you a man by getting out there and changing that tire yourself, man. They got professionals for that. Don't do it. Yo, thanks, Tap the Kid, man. My favorite plugins. Cool. So we got a question. My favorite plugins, anything UAD for one. Some plugins that I use all the time, multi-band compressors, the C4, the C6. I use that on a lot of stuff, man. Like a multi-band compressor is so versatile. I'll use a C4 or C6 on a beat. I'll use it on a drum bus. I'll use it on my master bus. I use it on vocals. Man, honestly, a multi-band compressor, when I started using that changed the way I mix. It changed my my mixes, you know what I'm saying? Just made everything make sense a lot more. Why does a mic pick up everything? Because that's what it's designed to do. But, you know, microphones have different polar patterns. So you got to make sure that your microphone is set to the correct polar pattern for what you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to capture, bro. Like, for example, there is an omni pattern, right? And a lot of microphones have multiple patterns. So if you have your microphone on an omnidirectional pattern, that means it's going to pick up sound from everything all around 360 degrees. But if you have your microphone in what they call it in a cardioid pattern, right? If you change it to a cardioid pattern, then it will reject what's coming from behind it and only pick up stuff from the sides and in front. So you need to learn about microphone polar patterns that might help you out with your sound, all right? How's the X6 working out? Loving it. I'm loving it, man. Does Auto-Tune Pro take up a lot of CPU usage? Not really. I've never experienced a lot of problems, and honestly, I don't have like a super updated computer, but I don't have any problems. My computer does everything that I need it to do. The Auto-Tune Pro works. Is not very heavy at all, especially if you just use it in low latency mode, especially while you're tracking. You're not going to experience any problems with that. If I can only pick one piece of equipment to use, what would it be? A computer. Forget everything else, man. If I got a computer, shoot, that's all you need. Like, real talk. Like, my laptop. I'll take my laptop. If that had to be the only thing. Because with that computer, it got a microphone, it got speakers, and I can use any plug-in that I want to. So, honestly, that would be my one piece of equipment that I would use, man. For real, for real. Let's see what else we got. Yo, thanks. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Again, we just doing Q&A, man. Drop your questions. I'm just going down the list, and whatever ones pop out to me, I'm going to answer. My mic picks up the cars passing by to the front room, and I have acoustic treatment. Okay, Messiah Music. This is where you may have a microphone that's too sensitive, okay? And you also need to possibly consider some type of isolation, because just because you have acoustic treatment, that's going to stop the sound from bouncing around in that room, but it's not going to stop sounds from entering the room. I done broke y'all microphone. It ain't going to stop sounds from entering the room, okay? So you need to possibly look at getting into some acoustic treatment that will, I'm sorry, isolation. Now they got like the Chaotica Eyeball or something. Shout out to them. They ain't paying me yet. But they got the Chaotica Eyeball. You can build a little booth, but some type of way you want to isolate. So they got those little baffle things that go around the microphone. I'm sure you've seen those. That will help to reject some of the sound. Also, just make sure that you, try to pick the quietest room in your house. If you live in New York City, man, you're like, yeah, you might just be out of luck. Also, what I was going to say, too, is get a microphone that is not too sensitive, man. I see a lot of people, sometimes they will go and buy a microphone that is like, you know what I'm saying, they're going to go buy a U87 or some expensive microphone to put in a home studio. Okay, now if your home studio is not isolated, the better that microphone is, meaning that it's better at picking up sounds. Now, a microphone ain't gonna distinguish between your voice sound and the air conditioner sound and your kid in the next room watching TV and your mama cussing somebody out over there. It's gonna pick up everything, right? So honestly, using a microphone like, for example, a Shure SM57B, if you're not in a place that is very isolated, a SM7B will help you greatly because it's not as sensitive, and it won't pick up so much of that background noise. This blue Ember microphone, I think that this is another great choice, especially since it's designed for like live streaming and stuff like that. It's not super sensitive, and if you heard those files that I dropped, they sound super clean. Also, I am in a relative, my space is not like 100% isolated from outside elements, but it's relatively isolated. I did as much as I can to isolate in this place. I feel like I was just saying a lot. Why is the eyeball $300? It is literally foam. Hey, look, man, they ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't know why, but I guess it's the design. But shoot, go get you some foam and wrap it around your microphone with some duct tape, see if it worked the same way. I don't know. Look. Is the USB Blue Yeti Pro a good enough microphone? Well, honestly, in my experience, I have never actually used the USB microphone. I've never plugged the microphone in via USB, so I don't know. I don't know what it is. How does it sound to you? Is it getting you the sound you want? If it is, then it's good enough. If it sounds good, it is good. That's the wavy tip of the day. If you don't remember nothing else from me, remember that. Everything ain't got to be technical. Everything ain't got to be expensive. If it sounds good, it is good. Would you recommend the PreSonus 4.5 studio monitor? I've heard good things about PreSonus studio monitors. I was actually looking into getting some PreSonus monitors, probably like the 8 inches, just to bam it out in here. I heard they was like super loud. So again, I don't know that particular monitor, but I've only heard good things about PreSonus monitors, and I have a PreSonus control central station for my monitor station here. You can probably see the remote. It's right here, right? This is my monitor control station. It's over connected to my little rack over here. But this thing has been great, way better than the Mackie Big Knob I was using before. Also got the PreSonus fader port. I like that thing too. So PreSonus ain't let me down. Shoot. Anybody use Studio One out there? Would y'all like me to start doing any Studio One tips and tutorials and stuff? If so, let me know, because I have Studio One. I don't really use it like that, but true, I feel like that's a wave, man. What up? Keep it wavy. How do you use 4 monitors at once? You don't. You don't use no 4 monitors at once. Why would you do? I mean, unless you mix it in surround sound or something, but then you would need your 5.1 surround setup. But that's I I have 3 sets of monitors in my studio. Never do I listen to all of them at one time. All right, I only listen to 1 set of monitors at a time. The reason being is that each one of them gonna give me a different flavor, kind of put me in a different environment. And when you mix it, it saves me from having to go out to the car to do the car test. You know what I mean? So by having multiple sets of monitors, I can get a sense of what I'm gonna sound like in different environments coming through different monitors. Like people come in and they see my old KRK Rocket 5s that I've had for literally since I was in Full Sail, man. I had these are my first ever monitors. I have them, I know them, and I still use them. They sound like shit, right? But I like them. And I know what I'm listening for on it. And compared to, like the Yamaha HS5, it's a night and day sound, right? So if I can get it to sound good on both of those, then I know that the mix sounds good. So that's why I have multiple sets of monitors, but I only listen to one at a time. All right. DJ Strategy, start dollar. I see you in Studio One only. Bet I'm gonna start. Yes, I'm gonna start doing some Studio One tutorials probably in the future. Do you have mastering services? That's a fact. I definitely do. Your boy Wavy can get you mastered up. So you know what I'm saying. Just shoot me an email if you need that. My email address is. I'm gonna type it in here, but y'all should already know it. I just had some green tea before I came here and charged up, B. Charged up. I got Studio One, Mixcraft, and Pro Tools. Pro Tools is so complicated because Pro Tools is for the pros, man. You know, they like to do that, add a bunch of stuff to make it hard to make people think they can't do it. But really, Pro Tools is not that hard. I don't know. Shoot, man, you probably play Fortnite, and to me, I can't, for the life of me, get with that. So to me, playing with Pro Tools is like a video game, man. If you can learn video games and cheat codes and Mortal Kombat and stuff like that, you can definitely learn Pro Tools, man. When did you graduate Full Sail? I'm class of 13 and 14. I'm class of 2007 and 2008. Yeah, right around there. Now I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story about Full Sail, right? So I went to Full Sail. After I graduated high school, I'm just gonna give you a little bit more. I graduated high school. I started going to like a community college, and I was taking some classes for music, but the class was only like half a semester. It was like a music tech class. When that class ended, man, and it was a night class for the music. And my algebra and all that stuff was in the morning, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. So I end up, not pursuing that endeavor anymore because I knew that's not what I wanted to do. Like, there's no point in me getting up at 7 in the morning going to take an algebra class. That's not wavy, right? So I wasted a little bit of time. Was almost on the verge of getting into some trouble out here. So I had to make a decision, and I just finally pulled the trigger on Full Sail. I have been looking at it for a long time, just procrastinating, but I sold everything I had, sold my car and whatever I had, and just went down to Full Sail. And it changed my life from there. But while I was at Full Sail, man, this is the funny story part, is that the funny story part is that, man, we put out a mixtape, right? So I was, your boy Wavy got bars. You feel me? I don't just be playing out here. I got bars. So I was out there. I spit some bars at me and my homeboy D Money, man. Shout out to D Money. He be producing with Kanye. See, my man is a platinum producer and all this now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to D Money. But man, we made out a mixtape. We put a mixtape out against some other cats in our class, and man, dude got mad, offended. And this was the start of America getting soft. You know what I'm saying? It's right at that edge when everybody was extra sensitive. So dude got all offended by the mixtape and went and told, and they actually suspended me for 3 months, man. I was always a straight A student, and then when I came back, and I still was at the top of the class. Anybody that went to Full Sail, I won the producer showcase, all of that. You know what I'm saying? But it was just funny, man. It's like, bro, we used the tools that y'all gave us, that y'all taught us, and we made some music, and it was a simple, friendly competition. Dude got mad, man. I was like, man, whatever. And I was real pissed at Full Sail, but I wasn't gonna let him kill my dreams because I knew there was no way I was gonna go back home and not have accomplished my goal. So I just got me a job while I was down there in Florida, grinded out for those 3 months till I got back in school, and yeah, it kept going. But yeah, I've been engineering though. Brian asked how long have I been engineering. I've been engineering. The first time I started engineering, I was probably like 16 years old. But I knew I wanted to engineer from the time I was about in the 6th grade, however old that is. And I went to a studio. I was like a kid rapper and stuff. And I went to a studio and I seen, like, you know, my man's had a big console. I don't know what kind of console it was, you know what I'm saying? But it might have been an SSL or something, or a Neve or something. But I went to a studio and saw the console, man. This dude, Adam Long, he like, yeah, man, it sounds great. I was like, yo, man, like, you know, all this technology is like a spaceship in there, man. I was like, yo, this is so dope. So from that day on, I was like more inclined to like the production and engineering side of things. And yeah, so, you know, as I progressed in high school and stuff like that, I would record my friends or whatever. My man, Blink, had a studio at his crib. Shout out to Blink, man. He was like, you know, that's right around the time when like Nelly had blew up and stuff. And so, you know, I'm in St. Louis. So, you know, he had a studio in the crib and we would come over there and just spend all summer, all day and night. I'm like 15 years old. My mama mad at me because I'm not coming home and stuff, but we just recording all day and night, man. Yes, Mr. Man. Yes, I have mixing services. I got mastering services. If you need professional mixes, professional masters, yes, shoot me an email, Wayne.wav @gmail.com. We will get you wrapped up, man. And anybody that's on the line right now, man, I know y'all can testify that the mix game is fire. You already know. Rose Hill asks, have you ever used Neumann mics, TLM 102 in particular? Yes, I have used Neumann microphones, and no, I do not like the TLM 102. It's just a little brittle for me. It's you know, it's not. There's better microphones around that price point that sound better. You know, Neumann is a trusted brand. It's a good sound, but what is that, like $600-700? I don't know. I would say go ahead, spend $1,000, get a Mojave MA 300 or something like that. Pro Tools all day. Pro Tools is definitely the best. Yes, Brandon Fields. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Brandon. What can I do? What can I do? Let's see. I know you talking about the blue mic, but are Rockville RCM Pro Studio mics any good for studio recording? Honestly, I never heard of that, so I can't help you. Ever dabble with Ableton? I used to use Ableton a little bit more in the past, but that's more for like production. You know what I'm saying? And when I was heavy on my making beats and producing, I was using Logic. So I never really dove too deep into Ableton. My main tools have always been Reason, Logic, and Pro Tools. Have you been back to Full Sail since you graduated? Hell no. If I go back down there, man, they might try to hold me out, man. They try to hold me down. I ain't going back to Full Sail till they pay me this time. You feel me? Does the fader port work with Pro Tools 2018? I read that it doesn't work with 2018, so I just wanted to ask. Yes, the fader port does work with Pro Tools 2018, and yes, it does have some issues there now and then. Now, just the other day, there was a software update. So I don't know what that necessarily, I mean, it was a firmware update for the fader port. So I didn't go in and see exactly what that firmware update was supposed to fix yet. But it was just like 2 days ago. So I updated it, and you know what I'm saying, we'll see if some of those issues arise. Some of the main issues I was having with the fader port in Pro Tools was that after I do, like, let's say I'm doing automation, right? I would be in touch automation mode or latch automation mode. I would do my first pass of automation. And then after I did that, You know, if I wanted to like touch it again, you're supposed to be able to touch it, release the fader, and then touch it again. But the second pass, whenever I touched it again, it wouldn't register the second time, and that was just super annoying. U City, yeah, we in the house. I can't. Can you run a new mic with a phantom power supply? I mean, every mic. I mean, it depends. If it's a condenser microphone and it requires phantom power, then yes. Respect to a laptop with input being the headphone jack. I don't know what that's about. All right, let's see. Let's see. Any tips on gain staging? Yeah, like when you recording in, you know, make sure that your levels, always like to, for my record levels to be right around that -6 dB mark. All right. On the input, right? So kind of averaging -6 dB peak, right? That peak average about -6 dB while you doing the input. And overall, I would say, you know what I'm saying, when you mix in and recording stuff, always watch your master fader, because you ultimately want your overall levels to be right about that -6 dB too. Now, when y'all are recording, even if it's backgrounds or something that you're gonna have really low, still record it in, man. You need to get a good strong signal while you record it in. If you record your signals too low, that brings you closer to the noise floor, and then ultimately you're gonna start compressing and wanting to turn that signal up, and all you're doing is also turning up the noise. So get a good strong signal regardless, you know what I'm saying, as strong as you can without clipping. And I realized that that's about a -6 dB peak average. What do you think about soundproof in the closet? Hold up. Before I answer that, I had another. Oh, this is real quick. There have been a couple, and I know a lot of y'all do this, man, because I've been mixing a lot of y'all music, so maybe this applies to you, right? But it's not just one person, man. This is something I see repeatedly, and that's just duplicating tracks. Okay, so let's say you do a vocal track and you feel like you want it to be thicker or something. I don't know what your reasoning is, but just duplicating that track is not doing anything but making it louder. Okay, so don't do that. You can end up causing phase problems, and the stuff just starts sounding weird when you do that. So if you want a doubled sound, if you want to duplicate your tracks, then you need to record it a second pass. That way it sounds and feels more organic. Now, that means that for you, if you're an artist or you producing an artist or something like that, then they need to make sure that their doubles are good and on point. So yeah, that's my advice on that. Because I see this a lot when I get these mixes, and it's very easy to tell when a track has just been simply duplicated, and I'm like, yo, what can I do with that? Why do I need that? So I end up deleting it, or, you know, and yeah, save yourself the trouble. That duplicating a track is not gonna work. Okay, now soundproof in the closet, that could work. You mean just putting a bunch of absorbative material in there to kind of capture all the reflections? Yeah, that's cool. But you need to keep in mind too that you don't want to make it too dead. Now you definitely want to capture a lot of reflections, but you could, you know, sometimes you get in that closet sound and you start sounding like this, right? So if you in a too small of a spot, then it starts sounding small. You get a small sound. So you know, that's what you gotta make your best judgment on what it sounds like. Always listen. How much Full Cell costs? You don't want to know, player. One of these. But it's all about if it's worth it for you, though. You know what I'm saying? All about if it's worth it. How old was you when you got your first big client? That's a really good question, Brian. Let's see. Right after Full Cell, when I finished Full Cell, I was about 18, 19 years old, right? So, and I moved right up to New York, right? So I moved right up to New York. I started interning at Quad Studios. My second day at Quad Studios, man, and RIP to my man Roz, man, David Rosner. man, he's just a legend in the New York City studio game. He passed away last week, man. RIP to him. Shout out to him, bro. But I started interning at Quad right soon as I got done, man. Like graduation was on a Tuesday. I was starting my internship Wednesday. Like that's how I be thinking. Like I be like, I don't got no time to waste. I ain't trying to take no break. I ain't gonna go back home and chill for 6 months. And nah, let's go. All right. So I did that. I got in there Quad. My second day interning at Quad, one of the other assistants or interns was like late or sick or something, and I got put in on a Jim Jones session. Now this is just being a second assistant, but what that allowed me to do at that point, Jim was signed to Sony. This was right after the Ballin' record had popped. Jim was signed to Sony, and they was booking out Quad for like every day for like the next year, damn near. Like it was hella long, like right. So basically, when they put you on a session, like they always big studios, they always put the same people, the same interns, the same assistant, the same engineer to work with the same clients every time. So it's not no new surprises. You don't want to be seeing new faces always pop up in your studio session. So I just I got lucky that day. Well, you know what I'm saying? And luck, what's that mean? When preparation meets timing, right? The right time in preparation, that was the time, and I was prepared. So I got lucky, and I wasn't doing nothing, right? But being a second assistant. Now, what does that mean? That means that like I would go get coffee and blunts. For them, it was more blunts. Just going to get a bunch of Dutches for them. You know what I'm saying? Taking out the trash. You know, doing whatever, running to go get food, get some bottles. You know what I'm saying? Go and let a girl upstairs into the studio or something like that. But everything that I ever did, I did with intent, and I tried to do it well, right? And this is like you gotta be like this, man. If you want anything out of life, you gotta be like this, man. You got to. If somebody hire you to take out the trash, man, you got to make sure that you take that trash out the best you can. You got to be the best trash taker outer. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all don't have that mentality, and I don't know, maybe I'm old school for real, because that's just how I believe, man. I had to work my way up from just letting people see me being great at the small things so that they can trust me with larger things, man. A lot of y'all want to jump off the field right away. Like, oh, I just watched this Wavy Wayne video, man. I'm ready to mix and master and record and go, man. You know what I'm saying? So, long story short, I was working with Jim and a bunch of other artists, because I'm at Quad. So, like, I was assistant, being an assistant engineer pretty quickly. Like, when I was right about, like, 19 years old, I was, like, an assistant engineer up in the Quad system. But then, you know, and like an intern and second assistant, right? And then, like, by me building up that relationship, though, you know what I'm saying? I had worked with a bunch of other people then. I had in between there, I had, you know, Kid Capri and, you know, a bunch of Future, Pitbull and Rick Ross's and stuff like that, all coming through Quad and stuff, right? But yeah, Jim opened up his own studio, and this was like a year and a half later. And they, you know what I'm saying, or, you know, close to 2 years later of after they Quad run had ended, and, you know, they had me to come over and be the main engineer over there, be the chief engineer at Empire Studios that Jim made, and that opened up a whole lot more doors, you know what I'm saying, for me. So I was pretty young, man. I was like, you know, in my very early 20s, working with big clients. How much do you mix for? Shoot me an email. What headphones are you using right now, and what amp and DAC to pair? Man, I'm gonna answer the first part of that question, Jason. The headphones that I'm using are the Sennheiser 480. I think that's what they call it. Yeah, the Sennheiser 480 joints. I love them headphones. They flat, they honest, and yeah, them the joints that I rock with. I check all my mixes in them Sennheiser 480s. Let me go down to the bottom of this list. What's on your workout playlist? All right, so honestly, I've been a huge Nipsey fan, and for the last, you know, few months, RP Nipsey Hussle, man. Send some love up for Nipsey, man. But there's been a lot of losses recently. But I've been listening to I like real, music, man, stuff that get me motivated, something that's actually talking about something. I never like to feel like I'm wasting my time. So I like, Jay-Z, or often I'll just go to Apple Music and listen to the A-list. When I want to get turned up, I'll just listen to the A-list hip hop playlist. So that way I know what's new, you know what I'm saying? I'm staying current and getting my kind of lesson in that way. But lately though, and I ain't going to front you, lately I've been listening to podcasts on investing. I've been just listening to a lot of podcasts, like motivational podcasts and podcasts that teach me about investing and, like, stocks and stuff like that, because that's where I'm ultimately trying to go. I'm trying to get that bag up. So I spend my time in the gym. I'll be in the gym for like 2 hours in the mornings and stuff like that. So yeah, all of that. So I like, man, look, instead of just wasting time listening to music, I hardly even listen to music in the car no more. Like, I'd be like, what, podcast it up. Like, look, let's use this time wisely. You know what I'm saying? Is it possible to get radio sound quality with entry-level interfaces? Absolutely. Man, I have a bunch of records that are out that's been played on the radio that I recorded on the inbox and used the Shure KSM57 microphone in a hotel room. Like, that was my travel setup, and and they went. Okay, I use a KSM27, an inbox, a MacBook Pro, and them Sennheiser HD 280s, and I was be dropping records just like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was my travel setup when I was traveling with different artists and stuff. That would be the setup. So absolutely, it's all about the ear, guys. It's not the gear, it's the ear. You have to listen. You have to listen. It's like when you recording something, don't just like listen to one of my videos and then I'll be like, yo, to get a proper, let's say I gave a video on how to mic a snare drum, right? And I say, you know what? To get a proper snare drum mic sound, you want the mic to be placed like this across the snare head, right? And so don't just go in the studio and place the mic like this. You go place it like that, and then you go listen to it and see if it sounds good. If it don't sound good, move it till it do sound good, right? So use your ears, trust your ears, and don't just take people's advice at a flat level, right? It's always a good starting point, but you're gonna have to make adjustments to whatever your situation is to make sure that it's right, man. Use your ears, y'all. Use your ears. What else we got? Would you ever make an FL Studio vocal template? Hell no. I don't use no FL Studio, man. No. I ain't got, man. I used to be dogging on Fruity Loops for so much, man. Don't try to call it FL Studio. It's Fruity Loops, man. No. But no, I ain't got nothing against nobody that use Fruity Loops. I actually just mastered some records for somebody, and dude told me that he mixed in an FL. I was like, what? Because the mixes sounded really good. And I was like, man, I never heard nothing like that come out of FL. But look, again, it ain't the gear, it's the ear. I'm telling you, that proves it right there. It's not the gear, it's the ear. Do you think people have to go the same route you went to become an audio producer engineer now in 2018? That's a good question. The DDT Inc. No, you don't got to go the same route I went. You got to find a route that works for you, though. What I would suggest, though, is, and this isn't any venture that y'all want to take on, is to allow yourself time to grow, right? After I graduated Full Sail, it was like 2 years before I ever charged somebody $1 for recording and mixing, or, because I wanted to make sure my skills was at a certain level. But once you start charging people money and your product is not standing up to what they thought it was, then you're killing yourself right out the bat. And so that's why I see a lot of people go wrong, is they start jumping off too early, charging people, trying to make $1 instead of learning still, man. A lot of y'all still in the learning process, and you out here trying to charge people. And I'm not trying to hate on your hustle, but you gotta respect the craft and keep learning, man. Again, like I was recording before I went to Full Sail. I went to Full Sail, and then I took another 2 years as an unpaid intern. And then I feel like I got to a point. But and while I was interning, I got to be in sessions with dope engineers, man. Like, and I got to learn a lot, you know what I'm saying, from them, you know. And I got to also, in being at the studio, I got to learn how a studio runs, how it's supposed to run. I learned the business. So while you thinking like, oh man, I can't just do this work for free. Yeah, I would go work an 8-hour job and then spend 10 hours at the studio, sleep on the studio couch some nights, and then go back to work. Like, that was the life, right? That I wanted, man. And I knew it wouldn't last forever, but I had to do that then to get where I needed to be. So you gotta decide what you need to do to get where you want to be. And there ain't no skipping steps. There ain't none. So you ain't gotta do exactly what I did, but just don't skip no steps. I'm struggling on mixing. Keep trying. It's a process. Again, I ain't think I was good at mixing for years. For years, and I'm still getting better. Every day I get better. Every day I get better, and as long as you continue to learn, you continue to hone in on your craft, then you will get better. Again, this ain't nothing that happened overnight, man. We in a rare industry where people decide that they can wake up and be an audio engineer or be a producer, right? There ain't no other industry that people do that. Like, think about like a doctor, right? Ain't nobody, you ain't just gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, I'm a doctor. No, you take time. You gotta go to school. You gotta do a residency. You gotta do all kind of stuff, right? But no, people wake up every day and be like, oh, I'm a producer. Oh, I'm a mix engineer. Oh, I'm a mastering engineer. Stop it, bruh. You're not, okay? You're an aspiring. You're an aspiring. That's what you're doing. And there's no hate, but you gotta understand that it's definitely levels to this. And if you do want a professional career in this industry, you don't want to kill yourself with piss poor work in the beginning and you charging people money. It's all good as long as you're doing it for free and you're getting your experience and stuff like that. But when you start charging people, that's when you can really make or break yourself. Watching my tutorials will make you better, but as long as you put them into practice. I'll call them fader jockeys. That's a fact. You only as good as your last mix. That's a big fact, man. Big fact. Hey, and the mix is only gonna be as good as the recording and as good as the composition and as good as the record. Man, look, it's so many levels to it. Yeah, that's how you know that you get it. I don't gotta elaborate. Yo, bro, every day I get better at my craft and I'm learning something new. Dope. Shout out to you, Nick. TLG Gaming. How do you deal with picky people when you're mixing their music? That's a good question. Dealing with picky people. So at the end of the day, we have to remember as mix engineers that we are providing a service for somebody else. It's my job to serve their music, to serve their records, right? And it ain't my job to put my ego on the record. That ain't what it's about. So if you want to hear something particular in the record, as long as I don't feel like it's going to damage my credibility as a mix engineer by being something totally outlandish, right? Then absolutely, I'm going to cater to you. Now, what I prefer though, you know, I don't like people standing over me while I'm mixing. It's a process. So oftentimes what I'll do is, you know, I'll have like, look, send me the files. Or if I got the files already, I'll mix on it. We can set up a session, you know what I'm saying, for an hour or two to go over any changes, you know what I'm saying, where you can come through and then we can go over and do any tweaks then. But like, I don't like people just like hovering over me while I'm doing every little thing. Because it's like, you know, and they don't understand it. Like, oh, the reverb too loud. And I'll be like, bro, shut up, okay? Wait till I'm done. And then you can get your input when I ask for it. All right. Are reference tracks necessary? No. Do the DAW matters? No. Yo, shout out to everybody that tuned in. I think I'm gonna stop answering questions for right now because I know what y'all here for. You know what I'm saying? We got some good questions and it's going good, but I know what y'all here for. What y'all here for? What y'all here for? Do you ever produce pop? I don't make beats, but yes, I produce pop. My wife, she does a lot of singing. She does pop records. Now, when you say produce, that means that I produce the vocals. I sometimes will rearrange the music. I will, you know what I'm saying, give advice on it. So absolutely, I produce, but I don't really make beats so much. Where your stock plug-in mix video? That's a good question. I think you know, I don't got like a straight mix video. I guess that's what I need to do. Maybe like a mix, start to finish on a mix with stock plugins. I might do that sometime soon. Can you do tutorial on sidechain compression? Yeah. One more question. I'm gonna do one more question, and then I'm gonna do this drawing. I'm gonna see advice for making vocals set into the mix. Use the fader. Fader and EQ, man. Set the level first with the fader, and then you just simply do adjustments with EQ after that. All right. Can you add auto tune in that mix? I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, a mix. Oh, yes, you're talking about in the video. Yeah. Have you ever produced reggae? I've worked on some reggae-esque records, but you know what I'm saying? Just because I got lots, man. Me not the yard, man. Me not from a yard, man. Blah, 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 blah. All right, y'all. I'm done. So this is how I'm done answering questions. So I'm about to give away this microphone right here, man. So this is how I'm gonna do it. I know I asked y'all to do a lot. I asked you to comment on the video on YouTube. I asked you to comment on my Instagram video, like it and share it. And a lot of y'all did all of that. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, it ain't no way. There's a way that I could go and track every little thing. I ain't got time for that. You know I ain't got time for that. But this is what I did. I just went to the list of YouTube comments, right? So if you at least did that, if you at least commented on the YouTube before yesterday, before it expired yesterday, before it was over, if you at least commented on the YouTube video and you're a subscriber, then you're on my list, okay? So I got a list. I'm going to show everybody the list. I'm using this website called random.org, right? It's just a list randomizer, okay? I got everybody's names already typed up. I'm going to copy them. I'm going to paste them in this list. I'm going to even show y'all. I'm going to scroll up the list real quick so you can see, you know what I'm saying, that everybody's name on there. It's over 100 names, right? So, but it's not that. I mean, like, look, the chances are pretty good. It's something like 100-something names. So where them hoes at? Stop it. Oh, man. You remind me of a dude I went to Full Sail, man. That's all he would say is where them hoes at, where them hoes at. But yeah, so I'm using random.org. I'm going to put all the names in the list. I'm going to show y'all the names in the list before I hit go. Okay. Now, is this thing backwards on y'all? Is that backwards? I don't know. Whatever, though. Oh, it's not backwards? You can see it regular? Okay, cool. It's just backwards for me. Cool. All right, so I got the list on my phone. If the winner is not here, are they gonna still win? Yes. This was not a part of the requirements. You don't gotta be in this chat right now live to win. I do appreciate everybody that's here right now though, man. Y'all dope, and I appreciate all the support and love that y'all been giving me through the channel. I started this channel because you know I wanted to be able to help people, man. Like that's it. Like y'all already know I went to Full Sail, paid a bunch of money. Paid a bunch of money on my education, and you know I could just be out here waxing for everything, but I'm not. Hold up, man. Where the email? On my email tripping. I emailed this to myself. I still got it on my computer though, but why it ain't come through like I wanted to? That's weird. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. Let me go right here. And the winner is, you know, we got to keep y'all in suspense. Okay, contest name is what I named it. What email is that in? So I got to do it on my phone so I can show you. Yeah. All right, so look, let's see. We go all the names. So all the names. These are your this is going off your YouTube name, okay? These are all of the names from anybody who left a comment on that YouTube video. Just a little track record. Look, man, I did my best to get everybody, and I know somebody gonna come out the woodworks and say, "Man, I ain't see my name on there." But look, man, I'm sorry. Look, I did that. I honestly, and when you go back, like you'll probably see your name. But the way that I'm gonna do this, I'm just going back through it for y'all, so so you can see again. It's the list. I'm just gonna copy and paste these names into my randomizer. Don't be trying to peep my name. Yeah, this is my name, Wayne Lawrence Adams Jr. So y'all know my whole full government, man. I don't care. All right. Boom. I think that's everybody. All right. So I'm about to go. I'm about to copy this list. And what I'm gonna do, once I put this in the randomizer, I'm gonna randomize it 3 times. The 3rd time, that's who's gonna win. All right. So look, that's how we giving it up. My rules. I'm gonna randomize it 3 times. Okay, let's see. Boom, this is the list. I'm gonna put in here. And the way that they are arranged in this list right now is that simply they in chronological order. So I just went down to the times that y'all posted. I went down to the times that the comments was posted, and I got them in order. So they just in chronological order right now. Okay. So scroll. Here we go. I'm gonna hit randomize. Let's make sure everybody can see that. Let me see. Randomize, boom. All right. That's one. That's one. So whoever at the top on the 3rd time, that's who wins, okay? Boom. I'm gonna go down, scroll to the bottom of this thing. I'm gonna hit again. Boom. That's 2. All right, y'all give up them drum rolls. Let's see some drum rolls down, man. Whoever at the top of this list, once I hit this button again, this is your microphone. All right, here we go. I'm gonna scroll down. It's the 3rd time. Here we go. Boom. All right, who we got? Capo B. Capo B, you first. You on the top of the list. All right. I hope you in the chat. If you're not, yo, man, I appreciate everybody that participated in this. Thank you so much. You know what I'm saying? What's the there's the drum rolls. Capo B, you are the winner. Congratulations to you. Yo, man, y'all keep on supporting the channel like this, and you know it's gonna be a lot more giveaways in the future. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, even more better stuff coming up, man. Capo G, that's you. Yeah. That's you, B? shoot me an email, man. So we can get that going, man. Congratulations, bro. Congratulations. Shoot me an email so we can get, and send me your shipping information. I'm gonna shoot this out to you. You feel me? All right. So again, man, congratulations to everybody. The best thing you can do is keep learning, continue to be dope. Don't ever quit. And yeah, again, man, shout out to everybody that checked in with me today. This was fun. I feel like I might need to do these a little more often, man. I just feel like it's just fun to just talk with y'all and just let the conversation flow naturally. You know what I'm saying? And answer some questions right off the cuff. So yeah, man, y'all be dope. I'm about to get up out of here. All right. Peace. Congratulations, Capo G.